What's up, brewskis? Ale Tale Tavern is a tavern simulator with some fun and unexpected twists. In addition to hunting and gathering ingredients for your food and drink, there's a supernatural story unfolding in tandem. Sharing some genre space with other titles like Diner Dash or Overcooked, Ale Tale Tavern brings some pop culture references and quirks guaranteed to make you smile. But if you're new to the game, there are some things you should know. And don't worry, we're not going to spoil any of the story for you. So without further ado, here are my top 10 tips and tricks in Ale Tale Tavern. Number 1. Go exploring. This one is pretty self-explanatory, but you may be tempted to hole up in your tavern serving guests all of your days. Unfortunately, most of your dishes require discovering ingredients throughout the land, so you'll need to close the tavern and head out on various quests. Whether you're working the quest board or just hunting animals and mushrooms, you're bound to encounter crates and barrels full of surprises, or orcs hoarding special resources. It's easy to fill up your pockets with intentional exploration, so don't miss out on the benefits of leaving the tavern. Number 2. Invest in inventory. Ale Tale Tavern is another game that requires inventory management. What you may overlook is that the inventory you need to serve patrons while the tavern is open is different than what you need while exploring. For example, there's almost no reason to carry a garden hoe or a water bucket while you're away from the tavern, so put that stuff away. Empty your pockets of cups and dishes and make all the space you can for gathering supplies while you're out. Use your empty space to double up on weapons or potions, but don't set out with things you don't need. You'll need the inventory space if you're out for any amount of time. Number 3. Press T. You may learn very quickly that if you explore the wilderness at length, it can become disorienting to find your way back to the tavern. Fortunately, the devs gave us the T key. This key will toggle on a marker that helps you locate your way back home. It disappears once you're close so that it doesn't stay on your HUD while you're working. And additionally, this feature helps you locate other players in multiplayer modes as well. Toggle it on or off at will. Number 4. Relog and restart. If you're still struggling to find your way back to the tavern, another reliable trick is to simply log out and back in again. Obviously, this is an exploit and breaks the immersion, but if you find yourself lost in the dark without a torch or a light potion, and your hit points are at risk, a quick relog starts you back at the tavern with full HP. It's not recommended and can be patched out later, but hey, it works! Also, be prepared to bring torches, noob. Number 5. Be sure to dash and block. Combat has its own tactics, and this is one feature of the game that might look a bit different for everyone. However, there are some tricks to helping you come out on top. First, combat is hard in this game. You're not wearing armor, so tanking too many hits equals a one-way ticket to respawn. So, bobbing and weaving is probably your best strat. Use right-click to block enemy attacks, and then begin your attack anew. You can also press Shift to dash around the enemy to create some space, or lurch forward and backward in combat. As a rule, it's best to stay moving while fighting. Just be aware that some enemies can break your block, so use it wisely. Number 6. Charge attack. Another helpful tip in combat is your charge attack. While easy to discover, new players might appreciate a reminder to hold left click and charge up their attacks. I'd recommend this attack when grinding frog legs, chickens, and pigs. It does a considerable amount of extra damage and can even break the block of an enemy, so charge your attack strategically. Number 7. Manage the menu. The tavern menu is a fickle creature and it must be groomed regularly. Just because you have something on display doesn't mean you should have it on the menu. Look at what will give you the most money and experience and then check your boxes for ingredients. Selling too much of one thing has a diminishing return, which means it earns you less over time. Instead, have 2 to 4 dishes available and 3 or so drink options. You're paid based on variety and timeliness, not to mention having a clean tavern, and your menu is where it all begins. Number 8. Use food to heal. The stuff you cook is good for the soul. If you're hurting for hit points, dip into your stock a bit and make some basic meals. You can top off in the tavern, or you can take them to go. Just remember that eating meals you've cooked drops dirty dishes into your inventory, and drinks have different effects as well, but I'll let you explore those on your own. It's worth testing your favorite recipe in your own time. Number 9. Buy and sell at full price. Now this one is a zinger. First, if you find things in loot crates that you don't need, you can sell them for full price. Or, if you find a duplicate of a weapon or tool you like, you can sell the used one for a fraction. But still, if you know you're about to venture out into the world to explore and you're worried that you're going to die and pay the death tax, then you can spend all your money at the merchant and store everything in chests. When you get back, you can sell it all back to him for full price. This is another exploit that risks being remedied in the future, but for now, you can spend all your money on merchant wares and liquidate it again without losing anything. Number 10. Orcs drop swords. Now this one really surprised me. Clearly, humanoid mobs like zombies and orcs drop super useful items like potions, gold, ammo, and more. On the rare occasion, however, orcs will drop a sword. If you're just starting out and are relying on an axe, getting an early game sword can be life-changing. If you can keep it repaired with gears, then you can stay ahead of your level curve for a bit, at least until you unlock the sword purchase at a higher level. So get out and hunt some orc! Ale Tale Tavern is a delightful game that was gifted to me by a supporter of our channel. Special shout out to Impulse, who also made a tips and tricks video on this, and it's linked in the description below. I found a lot of joy chasing the story and exploring all the various features, and I look forward to more updates and content. I hope this video helps you make the most of your time brewing up a storm in a nameless fantasy realm full of talking cows and possessed scarecrows. Here's to many more overpriced drinks in an increasingly unstable economy.